Hi everyone, welcome back. I think we've finally come up with a solution for the red car. Guys, thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me and doing all the things that you do with me. I appreciate every single little bit of it, and I appreciate all of you as well. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so because it helps me so much. Again, I'm not doing it for attention. I'm doing it so that Google, a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, can actually send me some of the ad revenue that they get for using my intellectual property to sell you guys ads. So that would be nice. But I've come to, I think, the most reasonable conclusion that we can have. And I appreciate all you guys for your input. And I think we're going to take the body off. I think it's got to go. I think the most logical conclusion here with this car is to send it back to its roots. Now, I know we spent an awful lot of money and time to get this thing back to the spot where it is now, which is a little bit more, well, I guess evolved from where it used to be. However, it doesn't mean it's worth more. It's actually probably worth less in this form as it sits. So, what I think we're going to do is, I have a complete second body for this car. My only issue is that Stafford has not finalized the body rules yet, which I'm going to check on. But we can at least get started with some sort of semblance of deconstruction and storing this. I'm not going to get rid of this body. This thing is useful for a number of reasons, especially on, like, my brother's car, right? So what I'm going to do is just pull it off. Yeah, I know I spent, I don't know, $30 on a box of rivets, but I mean, the body I spent a couple $100 on. It's not like I'm going to get rid of it. I'm not going to just throw it away. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it, but we're going to take this apart in a very specific manner. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it apart like the way it sits, right? I'll probably end up leaving the windows in it, but I'll take the bottom part. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave the bottom part. I might just leave the whole roof as one piece, like dashboard and all, right? Not too sure yet. We'll figure that out. But I think fenders and doors and everything are going to have to come off in one piece. The bumpers, probably going to take those off. And I'm going to take them off and leave them bent into shape, right? This thing here, like this upper, not only hood pin support, but upper nose support, I'm probably just going to hack it off right there at the base so that I could probably reuse that section. This bar here, probably going to leave it because I could probably reuse this as a bar for the nose of the other body that I'm going to put on it. Everything else is pretty much is where I'm going to leave it. All the steering stuff is in. I've got, well, the motor, if I use it as a Stafford and Waterford car, which is pretty much the rule package that exists around here now, I can't use the motor because nobody runs open motors like this. So I have other plans for it that might not be racing related, so we can probably still use it. The only problem is I don't have another crate engine to put in here, and I don't have the money for one right now. I mean, I do, but I don't want to spend it on that because as a responsible homeowner, I can't really do that. Add to all of this the fact that I'm starting about 2 days late with this video. Usually I film over the course of, well, about 5 days or 6 days even sometimes. And I can usually put one out, but I'm 2 days late starting because, well, I had to do some medical procedures that took about 2 days in order to complete without going into too much detail. So that stinks, but also I have to understand the fact that a lot of the stuff that I put into this car to get this body situated it's all stuff that I can't get back. And all of this stuff that's up in the rafters needs to be replenished if I'm going to do another body on it. There are a lot of things that I can repurpose, but it's going to be a process. But I guess we'll just have to go along with it. I mean, like I've mentioned in racing that, you know, if you have any difficulty with wasting material or throwing things that seemingly are perfectly good away, then you're in the wrong business. So I guess what we'll do is I'll take one last look at the rule book, see if Stafford has quietly finished that yet or not. But I think what we'll do is just start deconstruction. And we're going to start with the body. Once we get that done, we'll start with the other stuff. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, I wish I could use a lot of this, and I just can't. The big thing that really hurts in this whole process is this. Brand new fuel cell that I got for this car, because I expected to kind of put it together for like Thompson and Open shows or Waterford, whoever wanted it. Well, I can't use it at Stafford. They require or Waterford now, I guess that's a rule there too, because they verbatim copied all the rules and said, we're going to use these from now on. I can't use that because this specific fuel cell is not a bladder style fuel cell. I have one laying around. It's over here. That's actually just a bladder, but I can get a can for it, and I'd have to get a lid for it too. But it's not just that. It's the fact that I spent all that time building this fuel cell cage, and that is a lot of square stock. I can't reuse any of that. That'll have to all go. I'd have to get a new can for that fuel cell, build a whole new cage with what little material I have left, and redo the entire thing in this car. That sucks. So a little behind the scenes going on here. I got this drill doctor for my dad when he was still around, and when he died, I'm like, you know what? I kind of need one, so I'm going to go rob this back. Because I do a lot of drill work, and I need to sharpen my drill bits quite often, but I could never do it right. So I went and looked I thought I knew how to use these things. And I went and looked online at a video that somebody had posted, and I did it exactly the way that they did it. So I'm like, well, all right, I guess I'll just go try it again. And I grabbed the dull drill bit out of the closet, and I tried to give it a good sharpen, and you know what? Came out really well. So I wanted to try it first before grabbing my trusty replacement pop rivet bit. I'm going to go give it a shot because I've tried it before a bunch of times and I never could quite do it right for whatever reason. And then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just try again. And you know what? Since I watched that video, now I actually have a little bit of confidence to do this right. So I'm going to give it another shot. I wonder if it'll do the giant one that I use for like 5/8 wheel studs. This is a good enough start for now. And I gotta sweep the floor because, oh, Jesus. These little, here, I got the folding rivets, and they're kind of, well, not pointy, but I got these shoes on clearance when the local JCPenney was liquidating because, you know, malls don't exist anymore. And they're like restaurant safety shoes, and everything sticks to them. I won't fall down if the floor is wet, but I also track my entire yard if it's muddy or all these parts with me. So I'm going to clean this up because that's really annoying. But I also got to get to figuring this stuff out here, this door stuff. So while I still have a rear end in the car, I might as well do that, which I just mentioned. But what I got to do is I have to set the width of the rear end and the front end to what would be Stafford / Waterford legal. And the way we do that is with wheel spacers, and I got a bunch up here somewheres. Yeah, it looks like I got a bunch of 1/2 inchers, which if I look at the car and see what I got. All right, so I'll stack a bunch of spacers to get to the right track width, front and rear for Stafford. I'm just going to do this side. That side's probably fine. We got to do something about this first. This needs to get fixed because I built it way too wide. Also, the drill doctor, which I thought was actually kind of broken because if you look at it, it's got this lip here that is supposed to look like this, but is broken off. Apparently, it doesn't matter. This bit came out really sharp. I mean, pretty damn close. I don't think it's completely perfect. It's, like I said, close enough. It was actually sharp enough that it was biting the heads of the rivets and turning it instead of actually cutting through it. So it worked great, though. It absolutely ripped these off. So if you're like me and you use a lot of drill bits constantly, drill bit sharpener will save you a bit of money. Unless you're really like me and you snap them off all the time. First problem. These lug studs are too short for the amount of track width that we are allowed to race at Stafford. You got to run pretty much double the spacer that we would be running at Thompson because they have a different track width rule, or they used to back in the day. They used to. Now, of course, everything's completely different. I don't even consider that a thing anymore. Is that rubber? That is rubber. That's weird because I never raced this car in its configuration. Ooh, those are those aggressive brake pads too. Got to remember those are in there because if I use those at Stafford, wheel hop city, and in the fence. This wheel, however, was an old safety hub setup that I used to run. I switched over from Camaro to Impala style. They're pretty damn similar. It doesn't really matter because the spindle height's the same. So all your arm angles are going to be the same anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Steering angle's going to be... Most everything's the same. It's just bearing size. I think I got a small bearing Camaro. There are 2 bearing sizes for Camaro. There's small bearing and big bearing. Small bearing's easier to find. But I had the Impala spindles on the other car because the bearing size is bigger. Whatever, doesn't matter. All right, so I had these Camaro safety hubs set up with like 4-inch studs so that I could do whatever I want with them. And if for any reason I needed to run like no spacer up front, well, they're just really long studs, whatever. But if I run Stafford, it shortens it up a little bit and they fit. Back there though, need a 4-inch stud. Those are only 3. And since I'm a hoarder of race car parts, I'm going to go past my humming dehumidifier to go to the parts bin because I'm pretty sure I have some. Now, the only problem is other stuff is stuck to it. I'm going to go through this bin here and look for some 4-inch wheel studs. Of course, I hoard the ones where people boogered welded them back to their own axles. At least I have a grinding wheel. So I'll be taking care of these first. Maybe I'll just install them on the car. I'd have to take the brake rotor and the brake calipers off, but I think I could probably knock them out and put them in. So there's the rest of my evening sorted, but I need to do this in order to get the width set so that I can actually get the side bars and body braces all actually measured out to a proper width. See how this works in race cars? It just snowballs. That turned into a bigger job than it should have been. Mostly because, for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, but the last 2 cars that I've worked on, the lug studs that I just kind of pull through the axle go like this and spread out instead of sitting nice and straight, so you can't get a wheel on. So you're sitting there wailing on it with a hammer, trying to get them to point back in the right direction, and clearly they're not supposed to go that direction because they're not machined very well, so they don't seat flush, which is brilliant. So, finally got it on, and I'm just going to string a line right down. I'm going to turn the wheel out a little bit because it's a little in. Straight down the right side, and just build my body braces a little bit wider than that. I'm going to just cut that top piece off. That was a fun idea in theory, just to kind of keep the door in one piece. I don't like it. So I'm going to just take and build a Nerf bar from whatever I got sitting up here. Run that down it. Maybe I'll build stanchions off of it so that I can put a little bolt in it and make it removable. We'll see. Or I'll just send it. But I'm going to leave the out bottom here. And I'm going to trim it and then move the big piece back in, and I'm going to take care of everything else. Probably the quickest string job I've ever done. Just hooked the plumb bob through and just ran this line down the side of the car, wrapped it around, and stuck it over in the steering. And there we go. That's good enough. And I'm noticing this thing is out like, let's see how far. Oop, I moved it, but whatever. Close enough. It's about 3 inches. So what I wanted to do is, I like making the body a little wider because the tires are very vulnerable, especially at Stafford where you're not allowed to pit. And you got to keep that thing in one piece at all times. So what I'm going to do is measure out. What I'll do is I'll actually get the string to sit on its own instead of me influencing it by rubbing at the bottom of this thing. So I'll roll it down a hair. But what I'll do is, for demonstration purposes, I'll measure out to wherever it should be. Like, let's say it's 9 inches right there, okay? That'll be the inside of the bar, okay? So the bar will stick out a literal inch past that wheel line, and that'll give you at least an inch of clearance for the body so that you'll have a little bit of buffer room. You don't want to build your body. This isn't a cup car, okay? This isn't anything that's going to run on super speedways. You need to build it strong, and you need to make sure it can take hits because you're going to get a lot of them, trust me. So let's just roll this thing down, and there it goes. All right, cool. That'll get fixed, but whatever. All right, so I'll fiddle with this, and then I'll probably start cutting. Coming along, I wanted to kind of incorporate these up bars here because I was thinking about maybe making a jack post somewhere. Not sure yet. We'll see about it. If I was going to do that, I should have put one centrally located on the post, but we'll see about it. This bar up here probably not staying, okay? What I want to do is I actually want to cut it out on both ends, but this is just kind of a placeholder so that I can get the bottom welded in first. And the bottom's going to be the bottom door and rocker panel mounting point. Then I'll come up here and I'll hack this off. Once I get this off, then we're going to put a longer bar in, like some kind of cage tubing of some sort. And we'll put that down the majority of the side of the car because I want it to be enough that you can't tuck a wheel or a fender up in there, because that's what we had happen at Stafford this year. I didn't make the bar long enough. Somebody climbed up over me and ruined my night. So we got to make a bar from about here to where I showed you in the front, and then we're going to have to put little braces down to that side, Done it before a few times. This should be a good setup for it. I was going to make it removable, but then I'm like, you know what? If we ruin something, we're going to have to cut stuff anyway. Might as well just do the whole thing. Either way, that's probably going to do it for me today. I'm going to just kind of close up shop early here. I got an idea of what we're going to do, and so that we can now execute on that. So that's going to help out a ton. And I got plenty of time to do it, I guess. But, you know, I'd really like to get this done because I have another project I really, really want to get in here. It's not a race car project, but it's going to be really cool and super meaningful, by the way. So I want to get this done ASAP and get this thing the heck back out of here. Hopefully I can find a nice, comfortable place to put it. Once I get my other project here, I might be able to beg to put it somewhere else, but I need to get it done before the snow starts, which could be anytime within a month from now. So I got to hurry that up. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, it's the next day. I rescued that from my house. This is my old Dustbuster Harbor Freight Jobby Special. I bought a new vacuum. That's one of them little stick vacuums for my house. And you can have little attachments. So now I can bring this thing back in here and suck up all the stuff in the car without having to drag out a giant shop vac. That helps. Plus the battery charger's in here. So anyway, I think we're going to finish doing this door bar work today because I don't feel like doing anything else. And the other problem is the rules haven't come out yet. So I can't really do anything until the rules come out. So I don't know where to put my front fender heights. I don't know where to put the roof heights. I don't know anything that's really pertinent. So it's like, it's really stalling me on trying to get this project moving forward, which really stinks. I don't like that. So I'm going to go look around the shop. I hope I have some kind of a spare piece of roll bar material that's just kind of hanging around somewhere. I don't know, because, I mean, look at this place. How the heck would I know? So I'm just going to go wander around, find that, figure a piece out, and then maybe we can get this thing done finally. I know it's only taken a day or two, but I don't want to spend all this time on it. So the yard pets are back at it. I'd hate to go to the shop and scare them off, but it's going to happen. So I found this piece here. Keen-eyed observers who've been around the channel for a long time will remember it. That was the old door bar I pulled off of that late model that I bought. Remember that thing? Maybe I'll even find a video of it and put it up here somewhere. I don't even know if I can find it. But I had a crate late model at one point. I never raced it. I basically bought it because it was a good deal, and I had it on the channel, and I did some work to it, and I realized how expensive it really was going to be to race it, and I said, I'll just put it together kind of nice and then just sell it and go back to racing these things. But this was the door bar that they had on the right side, which was far too heavy duty. But for these cars, this might work. I know it's a little bit short here and a little bit short here, but it's really not bad. I mean, if I take a hammer to it and kind of bend the middle section back straight, I bet you this thing will work. Why don't we just kind of hammer on it and just use it? I mean, I'm not using it for anything else. I do use this type of material, but I have a stick of it here. I usually use it for like mounting rear bumpers to frame and chassis. Kind of like this here, but I have a bunch of it. So, I mean, I don't need that one. I mean, why not just use that instead? So I'm going to go grab my sledgehammer out, pound that thing straight, grab this thing here, get the paint off her, send it. It's really kind of cold to be doing this since it's, I don't know, 50 degrees outside right now. But you know what? I got my exhaust fan, so this, I can't let it stay like this. You know, I've been trying really hard to make my race cars look nicer and just kind of be better. And this is one of them custom, and I apologize for the angle that I keep using. It's from the same spot, but where else am I supposed to put my camera? I mean, it's really small in here. High output, standard, low output, rectangle, or vertical fan. Oh, we could try that. What's that one? 4. Cool. Let's see how this goes. Wow. Of course, I'm painting somewhere you guys can't see, so that's helpful. But like I said, I've been racing, or in racing, for what, 20, well, basically whatever year it is, plus 1, so 26 years. And I figured it's about time that I started taking this a lot more seriously. And not in the manner of, you know, oh, well, you know, I don't work hard enough or whatever. No, trying to make things nice. If you make your race cars nice, they sell for more. No, that's not it. You feel better about it, I guess. I don't know. Well, I'm going to keep doing this because y'all don't need to sit there and watch me shoot Rust-Oleum onto something. And once I finally get this thing done, I'll let you know. Not so bad, huh? Almost looks like a professional did this. No, it really doesn't. It would look a lot nicer if it was that. But it is done. I might put a little bar here down to the frame just to keep it from caving in completely. I did that on the other car, and it actually worked out really well. And yes, I know, there is a little bit of a bend to it, but I put it on that way for a reason because, well, it fit the best that way. Next on the agenda is going to be the rear end of the car. I'm going to pull that out so that I can have this 456 ring and pinion that I took out of my other rear that's currently in my Stafford car, which I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I didn't just pull this rear out. Oh, that's why. Because it was outside, and working outside sucks. Especially if it's grass and not hard-packed dirt or gravel or asphalt or concrete. But anyway, I'm going to pull this out, put that ring and pinion back in so that I have another spare. And again, I know a lot of people are like, well, you already have a spare. It's sitting down there. Yeah, but I like having a lot of spares. Like the transmission that's coming out of this car here, well, it's also one of my spares from Stafford. I have at least 2 brand new spares for Stafford. Actually, you know what? I might have 3. Let me see. I got one sitting over here, the red, white, and blue transmission that's really ugly. The one in the trailer and this one here are all 150 second gear Saginaw 3-speeds, which is what's legal at Stafford. Plus the one in my car that's in the Stafford car right now makes 4. Why do I have so many? Because things break. Anyway, and if they don't, then I have them. I like having spare parts. But I like also having inventory just in case, especially if I have a second car. What happens if I have a second car? I'll probably need 3 rear ends, not 2. So that's what I'm building this for, just in case, and we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll use it, maybe I won't. But at least I'll be able to have an inventory. But I think that's going to have to wait for tomorrow. Because apparently it's 43 degrees out here, and I'm freezing. And I don't have any propane available, and I have to go get them all refilled. So in order for me to have heat and keep working in here, I have to do that first, which I can't do now. And I have to go inside. So tomorrow we'll focus on getting the rear end out. We'll pull it apart. We'll see what we need, probably a rebuild kit. And we'll take it from there. It is the next day. I was outside leaf blowing, and then I got kind of timed out by the fact that it's dark at 4:30 in the afternoon now. So now we're in the shop. So homework aside, I went and grabbed my drink, which is also in my new Gleason's Garage koozie. Granted, it's in Arizona. It's way too big for a koozie, but you know what? It fits most of it. Which you can also get over on GleasonBrosRacing.com. Go click the merch store tab. You can bring yourself right over there. It's all out of order, and some of the stuff looks like it's sideways on there, but that's okay, because it kind of has to be, and I can't fix it. But the best way to support the channel is through that and through subscribing if you haven't yet. I know I gave you that spiel already, and to get people to subscribe, I want to make this thing as self-sustaining as possible, and that's kind of the way to do it. And tell your friends again, Christmas season's coming up as well. So that's a great opportunity for you guys to get like a lot of the stuff that I have on the website and to help support my channel, which is really awesome for you guys to do. Again, I'm really trying to be self-sustaining, but I need more people in order to do that. And if we can build a bigger community, then I won't have to rely on it as much from individual people. Whole lot of economic talk about it. We don't have to talk about that now. We're not that kind of thing here. I'm just kind of giving you the backdoor idea of what I'm trying to do. But what we're really doing is that. We're going to pull the rear end out. We need to pull that thing apart so that we can start building it for Stafford, Waterford, make it a little bit more useful for us. And I've already mentioned why. So let's get to it. Let's get that thing dropped down and out. All right, let's get this thing popped open here. Oh. That sucks. That sucks a lot, actually. Because I thought I did something else, and apparently I didn't. And now I'm pissed, actually. With myself, of course. By the way, I know there's a whole bunch of automotive YouTubers over on whatever channels that say, oh, you can't use red RTV for nothing but exhaust. But guess what? I did, and it didn't leak in any way. Again, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say RTV is literally RTV. Okay? It's meant to be silicone sealant. It will stop oil no matter what it is. Of course, some RTVs have their uses, like some are for heat, like that is. And some are just kind of gasket makers. So some do have purposes other than just sealing out oil and water. But if you need to seal up a rear end and all you have is high temp RTV, you're fine. I've built engines with high temp RTV, not on headers. It's fine. All right, so what's not fine is what I found in here, because I thought this was something else. Oh, and it's not. That's not good at all. Boy, I really hope I have spare carriers, because this is really not good. I'm starting to question where I got this rear end from, because I don't recall doing this. You'll see that there was a weld here, but there isn't anymore. And there's weld here, and there's weld here, and there's weld here. And I have a mini spool. I would have put it in. I thought that I had one that I had put it in here. Also, this is a Series 3 carrier. Are these 342s? I'm trying to find the, you know, sometimes they etch it into the ring and pinion. What do you say? Hang on, I'm getting there. That's a serial number. It's a Richmond gear. 12X41. Where's my calculator? Strangely enough, that is a 342. And I don't recall ever having one. You know, I wish that they could do something for memory, because, boy, I can't remember anything anymore. Okay, good. That's not the... Ah, there it is. Oh, you know what? I don't feel bad about this thing being welded up. I must have welded this up and done a really poor job of it because I hate single window carriers. They are garbage. Okay, so I don't feel too bad anymore. So I'm going to take this carrier and throw it away. I know I have other carriers sitting over on the shelf. I'm going to go take a look and see what we got in inventory. See, typically when I put rears together, I don't weld them together. I must have welded this one together because I hate them. I hate the single window carrier for the GM 10 bolt. I typically use the older ones, which are, you can get a Series 2 or a Series 3 carrier for a 7.5 inch GM 10 bolt rear. That was a mouthful. You can get the open window one on earlier models, and you can get a Series 2 and a Series 3 in that. This is a very late model. I would say closer to 87 or 88 model year. And whenever they stopped making these cars, and they made them with that stupid one hole, and they take special spider gears or a special spool, like a mini spool, and it's like, no, that sucks. Why didn't you just leave it alone? That's a dumb design that you messed with. You could have just, we were fine the other way. So I think I got 2 in here. Let me grab it. Oh, that's good to see. It says 7.5 bearings. I don't know what kind we got in there. That's transmission stuff. Right on the ring and pinion I need. Here's some bolts. Those are definitely ring bolts. What do we got here? That would be a Series 2 carrier. And that would be a Series 2 carrier. Well, that sucks. So I only got Series 2 carriers. And I really thought that I had a spacer that you could use on Series 2 carriers to space it out so you could use a higher ring and pinion number with it. I need 2 hands for this. Got the bin out, and then I look back here. I got me a 3 Series. Huh, that's pretty awesome. All right, so at least I got one now. I don't have to use the damn ring that I can't find. So we'll get this over here. We'll clean her up in the parts washer if I can get that cleaned off. And then I'm going to go take a look just to see if I have spider gears. Let's see. There's some. All right, well, I'm going to have to just keep looking for parts, see what I got just laying around, and then we'll figure out what we need to put this thing back together properly. Making some serious progress here. Here's the ring and pinion. Look at that. It's got the bearing and the pinion shims, so that's a good start. And yeah, look at the ring on this. This is probably, I don't know what brand it is. Oh, I think I know what brand it is. I think this is a Dana brand ring and pinion. And I bought this from like Rock Auto, and it was super cheap, but like, look at the wear pattern on it. That thing is perfect. And I definitely have to clock this thing a specific way because I had to literally trim the gear to get the pin in. I know some people would just shave the pin down. I don't like to do that because the pin can slop. This thing will survive if you just take a little nub off and just bevel the edge just so it doesn't ride on any other gear. It's fine. Trust me, I've done it. So this is all set up. This bearing I know is good. I've only run this rear a few times. I got ring gear bolts in here. I got a bunch of spares. They'll be fine. I got some on the shelf as well. I got the carrier. I found a new pinion seal. At least, I forget if it's an outer pinion bearing. I think it is. Probably end up using it just because I have it. I got new carrier bearings because these, I don't know the age of. I might as well just put new ones on if I have them. So we got that. I also found in the box, there's 2 bags of carrier shims, which is like side-to-side stuff. Look at them all. There's a bunch of factory, there's a bunch of regular, there's a bunch of thin ones in here that you can really start to set it up with. I also found my spacer ring, if I needed it. So it was in there after all. So I got everything I think I'm gonna need to slap that ring and pinion into that rear end and hopefully make it work again. Hopefully. Now, along the same lines as the people who act like different types of RTV matter, are the same people who watch TikToks or other short videos that show you how to get a ring gear onto a carrier. You'll see guys take and put like the ring gear in an oven with a certain amount of temperature, and then they'll put the carrier in like a freezer, and they'll do that for a while, and then they'll just stick them together and get them right. I don't care about any of that, literally. Like, it's just, okay, let's just throw some Loctite on here. That's pretty darn close. It's close enough for me to... By the way, these are reverse thread, so keep that in mind. And I'm just going to Loctite the hell out of them. Get them close. Let's see, where's an opposite one? There's one that's on the other side. Reverse thread. Then take my gun and just burn it on. There we go. And so I'm just going to continue doing this and probably just use a bigger gun than the one that I have here, like, I don't know, 1/2-inch drive, and just go until it stops moving. It'll be fine. You use Loctite, you'll be fine. Well, time constraints are kind of keeping me from completely finishing this right now, but what I do need to do is let her drain. What is that bolt? Hang on a second. Oh, I think I know what that's there for. Right, my memory's starting to come back to me a little bit. That bolt was for the vent. Somebody had put like a screwed in like vent tube, but I have a vent on the back of that. Yes, there's a vent on the back of that cover that I've plugged off, but I actually have to reconstitute it as a vent again. Otherwise, this will be unvented and blow the gaskets out. So I got to remember that. So I got to let this thing drip. Otherwise, it's going to be a horrific mess. And I haven't eaten today. Anyway, guys, I really kind of want to apologize for the length and content of this video. It's really not up to my standards. It's a little bit slapped together. It's a little bit kind of crappy. I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry. But again, I'm kind of hampered. I'm hampered by the rules package not being finalized yet. And I'm kind of hampered by time. Like I said, I'm 2 days behind on this video, which means I'm going to have a lot less stuff to show you. And it's going to be shorter. Probably won't be shorter because I always say that and it never is. But I don't want to go into a huge amount of detail. It's nothing serious. It's just that I'm behind. And I'm just trying to fulfill this thing out and just get you guys some content because you're my loyal subscribers and people who actually care about watching these things. And I care about you guys, so I wanted to get you something. So I'm going to go in and eat something. It's obvious I don't need to eat because I'm a little bit overweight. I'm not going to lie. But I'm going to go get something so I don't die. And I'm going to come back out here tomorrow, and hopefully we can throw this thing together. That would be really fun if we could actually build a rear end out of literally just spare parts I got laying around, and I can get rid of that welded up thing that's been sitting there that I hate, and I got get that in the scrap pile. That would be great. So let's get this thing done. I'll be back here tomorrow. I'll see you then. All right, it's next day, and it is beautiful, actually. It rained all morning. Now it's 65 and sunny. Well, actually, no, its sun's going down. Sorry I did that to you. All right, I'm going to get this thing on here. I want to get new bearings put on this. I want to get that ring and pinion done before the end of this video because I want to be able to offer you guys at least some kind of success out of this thing instead of just, hey, I got an idea. Maybe we'll do this to the car. No, we need some kind of movement forward. So we're going to get this ring and pinion in here come hell or high water tonight. Racers will know, yeah, the bearings, they look great. But if you have new ones, just do it. You know, you're going to spend the time to put all this stuff together. You already have it apart. Do the right thing. Just put the parts in that you have. It'll save you the headache down the road. I got new races. I got new bearings. They're going to go in here. I was outside trying to get a lawnmower running that is just kind of a piece of crap in my backyard. And it hurt my wrist You know how if anybody's watched this channel for a long period of time, they know that my hands hurt. And both of my wrists got ruined by my Milwaukee drill, which this isn't it. It's over there in the toolbox. But apparently my Milwaukee drill has so much torque that it will wrench my wrists and hurt them. So yeah, that happened again. So I'm pretty mad about it, and I'm going to not take it out on this. I'll just try to calm down. I'm all fueled up with Duncan, so we're ready to go. Hey, real quick, guys, I got a tech tip for you. You know, to get the bearings off these types of carriers and some other stuff like the pinion right here, you need one of these bearing vices. You can get these pretty much anywhere. I think Harbor Freight has them. But the bolts that they give you are junk, okay? They're junk. They'll strip, they'll bend, they'll do all sorts of stuff. So what I did instead was I went to my local hardware store, probably a Tractor Supply, and I bought these 5/8 grade 8. I don't know how long they are. Let's be scientific about this. They are, well, about 6 from the end to the bottom of the head of the bolt. So about 6.5-ish. Whatever, doesn't matter. But buy grade 8 hardware for your cheap Chinese bearing vise, and it'll make your life so much better. Trust me, you can actually use the thing. You'll probably have this a lot longer by swapping the bolts out than you would any other way. So do that. Oh boy. I think we lucked out a little bit on this one, guys. Because it was already in a rear, and these rears are manufactured pretty much the same. And I got the lash down to a very tolerable area. I think it was like, I want to say it was about 12 thousandths, which is perfectly fine for a used gear set. And I checked the pattern. She's dead nuts in the middle. I'm like, well, I don't really know what else to do here. I had the lash a little bit tight. It was about 0.006. So I took 10 thousandths out of the left side, moved it to the right with some custom shims. Not really custom, but you know, you get the installation kits, they give you shims and stuff. Well, I got a bunch of those laying around, so I stuck some in there, and she's on it. So I'm going to just kind of button this thing up and probably have that thing ready. I mean, I checked her. She's the opposite of what I send. She's got the legal spider gears and stuff in there for Stafford and Waterford because we run open diffs. She's ready to go. So as of right now, the only issue I have is the fact that I don't have anything. I don't have gear oil. I was thinking about putting bearings and seals in it. Don't have those either. I don't have the rules finalized for the body, so can't quite put that on either. So kind of stuck here. So I would put it together completely, but I just don't have those things, and I'm completely out of time for this video, which kind of stinks. I wish I could have kept going, but today's the last day. I got to edit this thing. We got her together, though. The rear end's done, which is pretty cool. That's another thing I need to do. Oh, I also have to put another box of studs on that wheel because the spacers that we're allowed to run at Stafford, I can't run them on 3-inch studs to make track with. So I got to get that done too. But anyway, I got to cut the video short here. Again, my apologies. I was 2 days late. I mentioned that before. And I couldn't really do a hell of a lot about that. And I do have other projects lined up, which I'll be honest with you, me waiting on to see if the rules change for the body, because if you saw the body rules for this thing, they don't look good. And I'm really hoping Stafford fixes that. And I've heard that they're trying to fix that behind the scenes, so I'm just kind of letting them have that time. But at the moment, I'm stuck. I'd have 2 cars to put together if I had the rules. And I'm really just kind of hoping that they don't change. And if they're going to change, maybe, you know, if you're listening, Stafford, make it like 49 or 50 inches for the roof height, 10 inches back from the windshield, 29 inches for the front fender height at ride height. Make all of the body meet static ride height, which is 6 inches. That's it. That's all we really need to do. The rear tail has an overhang rule for the frame, so the body's going to have to meet that, clearly. And just let us kind of do what we're already doing, because we didn't really need to change it, and nothing is really going to make any difference. The front nose height will, so just fix that and we'll be good. But guys, for you guys, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so, because it helps me a ton. Literally, it's free. A subscription that's free. You see all these things like streaming services and, oh, come subscribe. Well, here, subscriptions are free. And the entertainment I provide for you is free. And if you want to give back, the first step is to just do that. Then Google will help me out with ad revenue, because more people, more views, more ad revenue. Simple. Tell your friends. That'll help as well, along the same lines. Also, another really big way you can help out is to go over to GleasonBrosRacing.com, hit the button for the merch store. I've got stickers, hats, koozies, team shirts, team tank tops, team hats, team stickers, you name it. I have novelty stuff on there as well. Christmas is coming, and my prices are very, very reasonable for top quality items. Granted, turnaround time's a little slow. Shipping's a little slow too. But you didn't have to pay a lot for it. So you get what you pay for. Guys, that helps me out a ton. And trust me, I've had problems with it. You guys let me know. I fixed it. Thankfully, we're past that and we can move on. And that just, I'm telling you, it's so cool to go to the racetrack and see people wearing your stuff. It's really, really cool. So guys, I'm planning on some other stuff because I can't do much more until I get the rules. So maybe, and that's just a maybe, we can roll another project in here. That would be cool. So until next time, thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate it. See you then.